What up, guys? How you doing today? We just finished up the 2023 Unadilla Motocross, and we've crowned a champ. Jett Lawrence sewed up the 450 Motocross Championship with a dominant 1-1 performance in the 450 class. And I tell you, this has got to be the biggest splash of all. I have not seen this kind of dominance probably since Ryan Dungey in 2010. And I got to tell you, Lawrence is kind of reminding me of Dungey in 2010 when Dungey jumped up to the 450 class and then all the heavy hitters dropped out early. The only one who came back was Chad Reed. Only this time, the heavy hitters started dropping out towards the end of the Supercross season. You know, Eli Tomac, Ken Roczen going Supercross only. Jason Anderson and Justin Barsha were also sidelined due to injury. And of course, Justin Barsha returned today. Did not have a good day overall. That's too bad for Barsha, because did I think he was going to do good today? I actually didn't think so. You know why? Because I don't know how good a shape he's in. But he was mired down with bad starts and troubles. And, of course, obviously they showed him in the mechanics area in the first moto. But, it's not good for Barsha. I don't know if he's going to make it to the Super Motocross playoffs. He probably will, though. At least I'd like to think so, anyway. But from what I've seen, I know I've said this so many times earlier, but this time it's definite. Jett Lawrence is going to sweep the 450 class in motocross. I'm going to tell you that right now. And what makes me think that this is going to happen is because I don't see anything that can really slow him down. I mean, the only time I thought he got challenged was at High Point when Ken Roczen came off the couch. And you think that Roczen would have possibly gotten a win there because he had one at I think he had one at High Point before. In fact, yes, I did. I do think he did win at High Point. So, but anyway, as far as this race is concerned, the fact that Jett, he was on it for sure. I mean, he nailed both starts, and so far Honda just broke a nearly 20-year drought with Jett Lawrence winning the 450 class title. They hadn't won one since Carmichael in 2004, And it's hard to believe that, with Honda not winning as many titles as I'm sure they'd have liked to in those 20 years, it is hard to believe that the guy who had the best chance of winning a title for Honda was probably Chad Reed. And until Jett and Hunter Lawrence came along. And Hunter Lawrence, as we get into the 250s, may certainly have put a clamp on the 250 championship with how crappy Haiden Deegan's day went. I'm going to get to that in a little bit, but first, as the last thing on the 450 class, Chase Sexton, I thought he was back, but he's been showing that old Chase Sexton, that what we saw last year with him crashing while leading or chasing down Eli Tomac for the lead, all that stuff came back. And but from what I saw from Sexton when he tried to make that first pass on Jett Lawrence, I kind of thought that, well, I hope that he doesn't put Jett Lawrence down because, I mean, yeah, it is his teammate, but I'm kind of glad that it doesn't look like another another situation of Bale and Stanton from back in the 90s. But still, oh, hold on, folks. Hello? Sorry, guys. Had to take a call. But anyway, what I was saying about one last thing, the fact that Jett was really on it, and the fact that Chase Sexton looked like he was, we saw that same, the fact that we had saw that same thing from Chase Sexton. I'm kind of shaking my head because the fact that even if it started to look like the Chase Sexton, even if he didn't sit out a few races with mononucleosis, we probably will be seeing the same thing. That what we saw in 2022 with him versus Eli Tomac. But then again, you never know. But what we saw from Sexton could be a reason why he's going to KTM next year. So obviously, the title chase for the 450s is over. The perfect season is going to happen. I'm going to say that right now. At least for Jett, anyway. So anyway, now the 250s. Hunter Lawrence using a 2-2 to win the overall. And how ironic that it's at Unadilla. Because I can remember when Ricky Carmichael won in 2001 with the 2-2. Greg Albertine won with the 2-2 in 96 in the 250 class in the premier class at the time. But the guy that I felt really bummed for was Levi Kitchen. I mean, he won the first moto, but he laid an egg on the start in the second moto. And props to Joe Shimoda as well, because when Hunter Lawrence got around Joe, he didn't let Hunter Lawrence out of sight. Joe Shimoda, that is. And I don't know. I thought he was a little bit too far back to be able to come back and win, or at least get Hunter again and perhaps get second place, because Justin Cooper took off with the second 250 moto. And I got to tell you, the way that Cooper rides, that's what I mean when I say that Justin Cooper has got Jimmy Button written all over him. And when I say that, I'm talking about the fact that Jimmy Button can step in and lead a race for a long time or finish 4th, 5th, or 6th, and people can say, well, I don't know. That's about where he's close to finishing it. That's about where he finishes anyway. But anyway, also I want to send out some best wishes to RJ Hampshire. Obviously, in the second moto, you saw what happened just when they came under the tunnel, and he had caught was a red flag. And obviously that resulted in a red flag, and RJ was out of the race. So RJ, hope you're healing up, man. I hope that you can come back, and but I don't know. It looks like the end of the season for RJ. I don't know about the playoffs though, but we'll see what happens. But it was good for Hunter to finally get the break that he was looking for, because Haiden Deegan had a really terrible day at Unadilla, because at one point he was ahead of Hunter in the first moto, and then Hunter started moving up gradually, and then the results completely flip-flopped. Deegan looked like he was going to lose just a tiny bit of points, and then it turned into a big pickup for Hunter Lawrence, because Haiden Deegan, his bike quit. And, it's a machine. It's got a mind of its own. So it looks like Hunter Lawrence could very well have put a grip on the 250 championship, and perhaps give Honda its first title since Jett maybe last year. Yeah, since Jett last year. But before that was probably Eli Tomac in 2013. But, props to Honda. I mean, to keep the Honda guys. But like I said in a prior live stream, Hunter Lawrence should stay on the 250 in 2024. If he wants to defend his East title, okay. If he wants to win a West title, okay. Do I think he's ready for the 450? Not yet. He hasn't ridden a 450 yet, but I don't doubt that he's going to do a similar thing that Jett Lawrence is currently doing. I mean, of course, some might say, well, you might say that Eli Tomac's on the sidelines, and Jett would probably be having his lunch handed to him week in, week out, which is true. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him, but I like to think that if Eli Tomac were out there, Jett Lawrence would probably beat Eli Tomac at least once or twice, maybe putting in the same kind of rise that Chase Sexton has been putting in. I don't know what you guys think, but hey, it is what it is. I mean, but Jett, to keep this perfect game going, that is something I have not seen in 15 years. I haven't seen dominance like that. I mean, the next closest I could think of was Dungey in 2010, when he won 9 races in a row until Kevin Windham beat him at Steel City. But anyway, oh no, I didn't mean to put that in. And believe me, that message you saw, that was not related to this. So anyway, so don't worry what you saw over here. So still learning StreamYard. So anyway, obviously, what I would say, however, is the fact that we are close to the end, and Jett Lawrence is going to sweep the 450 class, period. And of course, the latest word with Eli Tomac is that he's in for 2024 Supercross only. And I agree with it. I mean, he's already made a name for himself in motocross with, I think, 4 titles. I don't know about consecutively, probably so. But anyway, I don't know if Jett's going to have a learning curve for Supercross. He probably will. But I don't know. I thought Dungey would have a learning curve in 2010. And I thought Ken Roxon was going to when he first moved up out of the lights class. But anyway, But again, like I said, don't worry what you saw over here a few moments ago. But anyway, as far as what I'm concerned, there is absolutely nothing that can hamper Jett Lawrence's progress. I mean, he gets good starts. He lets the race come to him. He's almost like Jeremy McGrath in a sense from when Jeremy rode for Honda in the 90s. And he was winning all of his titles. So, you know, obviously Jett wasn't as dominant as Jeremy McGrath was, but at least not right now anyway. But anyway, hey, I would not doubt that Jett's going to pull off the same kind of feats at Honda that Jeremy did from 93 to 96, winning 43 races in Supercross and something like 14 or 15 outdoors. But anyway, but Jett's the real deal. I don't think that the lack of competition is an excuse for anything. I do think it's Jett's hard work and determination that really prove the kind of rider that he is. Same goes for Hunter Lawrence. So anyway, guys, that is it. And again, like I said, don't worry about what you saw over here earlier, but that was a completely unrelated thing. So anyway, I am going to bounce out of here. Y'all enjoy your weekends, and I'll see y'all soon.